All right, yeah. So, man, I had to go ahead and eat some fruit while I was in the mood to talk because I ate some McDonald's earlier. I'm not a fan of processed foods, man. Like I ate like 4 6 McMuffins waiting on my car to get fixed and it tore my stomach up. So I'm sitting here eating a mango right now, drinking some water. But I was in the mood to talk. I was supposed to go hang out with some friends, and we just canceled till tomorrow. So I want to talk about looking for a relationship. In my situation, man, like, okay, I'll give you my general rundown. I'm 33. I'm getting ready to move back to Europe on Monday, and I bet I was back in America for a total about right about 6 months. And I didn't think I was gonna make it this long. And over 6 months, man, like I just as soon as I got back to America, man, I just noticed the shift in American women. Like you can always feel it, even when you're like walking through Europe. You can feel when a woman's like on an American woman mentality. You can just feel it, for better or worse. I mean, most times it's worse, but you can feel it. Um, so I didn't mess, man. I didn't. The only girls I messed with when I came back were hookers. I never even messed with a normal woman. I just can't. I just can't mess with a normal American girl here because like it's hard to explain, man. It's just like the 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 entitlement that they have. It's like it's just awkward, and it's awkward and off putting. Because and again, my assumption is probably like because social media just kind of pump their heads up, and social media and online dating and like it gets their egos hyped to where they know they can just get sex when they want it, so it hypes their head up to thinking that they're worth so much more. But people just that whole thing. But my situation, man, like in looking for a relationship, like I was legit getting lonely. Like after, like it, not well, I don't want to say lonely, but I would get like whiffs of like kind of wanting a relationship again, and just kind of go off and do something on my own again, and then get another whiff of like every now and then get like these whiffs of like I wonder what it'd be like to have somebody around now, type of thing. But then it would go away, and I go play a video game or do some work or something, or do a video or whatever, or just go drive my 6 speed around because I felt like it, that type of thing. So but like when I go back to Europe, like I'm definitely, like, I think I'm definitely gonna get a woman. I'm going to keep doing these videos for like for the few people who may watch these and may either learn something or just want to hear somebody talk about these topics. But I tell you what, like my advice for looking for a relationship, man. I'm 33, but I'm also a fan of believing that you can learn something from anybody. So like I can learn something from a 15-year-old, or I can learn something from a 57-year-old or older or younger, because they may have had a whole different experience in life than I had, and they can enlighten me. So that's kind of like what another part of what my videos are about. Man, mango is looking gummy, ready to take another bite. But so my advice, man, number one, like the mistakes, looking back at the mistakes that I made in looking and getting in relationships. Step one, pay attention to the friends, the female friends that said that the woman you're thinking about hangs around. Okay. Pay attention to that. That is probably one of the more important things out of all of it. Like if her friends are strippers and strippers, customer service types, pretty much escorts. That's pretty much what she is. And because especially with women, now they try to say men are the same thing, but men really don't do that same thing at the same capacity. Because with a woman, everything to a woman comes back down to her status level and her status to get what she considers the higher quality male that she can get, and knows the word she can get, that she feels she can get. So like this is why I say if she's hanging around, okay, every woman has a same end goal. They want what they consider to be the higher quality male with the higher quality status. Now the difference being, let's say like a woman, she grew up, and I'm just using that as an example. Let's say one woman, she grew up in like, in, let's just say stereotypically Beverly Hills. I've never actually been to Beverly Hills, so I know it. I'm sure there's probably bad parts of Beverly Hills too. But let's just take my word. Let's just entertain me for a while. Let's say a woman, she grew up in Beverly Hills. You know, her whole family's college educated, and they all went to, you know, UCLA, Harvard, you know, all those types of, like, you know, higher ranking schools. Well, her idea of a higher quality male is going to be completely different from the woman who, you know, her none of her family barely graduated. I mean, all of her family barely graduated high school, and you know, and she just worked at, you know, these little, like, you know, little fast food joints. And what she, like, to her, a guy just driving a nice car and is dressed clean is the highest that she's probably ever been in contact with in real life. So to her, that's her higher quality male. Whereas the girl in Beverly Hills, her higher quality male could be, let's say, just starting out, like the shift manager at, I don't know, the shift manager at Costco who's bringing in 60 a year. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's relative to that woman and what she's used to in life. Um, so even, and that goes even deeper. So let's say to another woman, this is what I'm saying, pay attention to her friends and her family and what they're about, because usually that's, a lot of times that's what she's gonna be about. So like if her friends and family, they're like they're all, you know, locked up, doing drugs, you know, driving, you know, $400 cars with $2,000 rims on it, stuff like that. Well, it's pretty much, it's pretty safe to say she's gonna be a dingbat. That's what Archie Bunker used to say. I'm not old enough to know Archie Bunker when he was live on television. I seen the reruns of Archie Bunker. But but yeah, she's that's where dingbat. She's an idiot. She's gonna be an idiot. This woman is gonna be an idiot. So you like was really, see, men don't do this to operate the same, because men crave more adventure and independence. So like I can hang out with one of my friends is a hardcore weed smoker. The other friend is a chiropractor. The other friend, you know, I can manage all. Men can manage all that just because we got a common grind. Maybe we all like football, or maybe we all like a certain type of beer, and then we like the joke. See, we can manage that. Where women don't, they really don't like each other. You see what I'm saying? So if they do deal with each other, they got to be on like the exact same level in many things, like where they work, how they look. Those are usually the two, the areas of where they work in and how they look. This is what, because see, you'll very rarely find like many females who are like genuinely good close friends with other females who are like married and living in, you know, $3 million homes, stuff like that. And while they're living in like in a 1 bedroom apartment somewhere, it working like a basic job, you just don't see that. The only times you'll see is if they were like hardcore friends from high school or something like that. But other than that, you're not gonna see that. It just, like, women, they just don't do that. They gonna be in this tier or this tier or this tier. They don't intermingle. You see, men can, but they don't. Um. So yeah, pay attention. That's the number one advice. Pay attention to the woman. To pay attention to the company that she's keeping. Okay, because that's gonna be a huge indicator on what she's gonna be. And then then when I say keeping, that she's like consistently keeping, not like once every 3 months. Because see, usually there's a reason why, from one of them's perspective, why they're only hanging out with certain females once every 3 months, type of thing, versus the one they're hanging out with every Tuesday. Like, okay, because my past experience with it. Now, when I'm with my ex-wife, man, see, these were all signs I didn't know. My ex-wife, she was 2 years older than me. I was 30. She was like 30. So she was, no, I was 31. She was 33, I think. That's what it was. I was 30. She was 32, 33. I can't remember. 30, 32. I can't remember. But she was like 2 years older than me. And these were signs I should have, I wish I would have known back then. Like all her like successful friends, they would barely come around. They never really wanted to come around her. Like, when I say successful, I mean like they were probably working in the same job, but they were like making a little more money, and they were like a little more better put together type of, like they were better overall put together type of thing. They never really hung around her at all. Like they barely come around. And guess who the one would always come around was the single mother friend who couldn't keep a man, pretty much like what my ex-wife was before I met her. Couldn't keep a man, always just broke as shit. Like just ridiculous stories. And that was a huge indicator of what my ex-wife was. The only ones who feel comfortable coming around. The next thing you want to look at is, okay, and this is just going to be a reality with most women. Because women just, and I went into this in other videos, man, like most women are just going to have difficulties surviving on their own purely. Meaning like especially if they have a child, especially if she's a single mother, she's going to have difficulties a lot of times surviving on her own in the world. Meaning, okay, she might greet you with a smile, and oh hey, yeah, oh yeah, I can go out this Tuesday. She'll greet you like that, but she's leeching on somebody. She's either leeching off her parents, mother or father, or grandparents, or aunt uncles, or leeching off her brothers and sisters, or she has like that one sucker friend. Like you have to like look out for that, because you're going to be the next leech. You're going to be the next thing she leeches off of. And coincidentally, all her friends and family are going to immediately love you, because see, you're going to take the leeching off of them, and it's going to be on you now. So they want you to come in to take some of that burden off of them, and they'll immediately love you from the second you walk through the door. But yeah, my honest opinion, man, like I was considering dating again since I've been back in America, but like ultimately, I gotta peel that better. Ultimately, the American laws, man, are just awful. The American laws are they're just laughably bad. And the thing is, they know it. The government knows it. like it's not a secret, but they're just laughably bad. Like there is no way I could walk in with a straight. I don't even want. I don't even want to. I don't even want to sit down in a room alone with a normal American woman. I just don't even want to do. I've come across a few I even liked, but like me, see, this is what happens when you get older, man. Like you start thinking past sex and start thinking like, okay, what can this turn into the second she gets mad? You see what I'm saying? Like it don't have to be 3 weeks from now. It could be 6 hours from now, and she gets mad or has an attitude trip, and then wants to say you did something, and like who all is going to take your word for what you say? You see what I'm saying? Like like I can't do it. I don't feel comfortable. I do not feel comfortable alone in a room with an American woman. I just don't. I don't. Now when I go back over there, like it won't. I mean, I've been talking to a handful of girls since I've been back here, so that are over there. Like over there is, especially as a black male in Europe, it's completely different in America, man. Like they love, like it's the complete, like Americans, like black guys are like taboo in America. There are groups of people who will like African American guys, or guys who just aren't white. They will do it, but like they really don't want to. You know what I'm saying? They really don't want to. They really don't want to be known to be with you type of thing in a lot of cases, because there's always that friction. And, it's always that, because it's the country's history. But like over there, like they crave anything different. Like it's the complete opposite, man. Like you mess around, not pay for your beer, when you go out, because like somebody just wants to practice English with you over there as African American man, or because you just look different. Um, but yeah, man. So, but yeah, but my advice, let's say like, because everybody's got different life situations, and speaking on life situations, man, like I've known guys who are making millions and are stuck living, in small, cramped apartments, and guys like me who don't even make six figures and has it set up to where where he could travel the world whenever he wants to. Like I've just seen like money in itself is not everything. There's more to it. It's the life situation. Let's say like if you're earning 3 million a year, but you got these alimony payments, you got this child support, um, um, you got because I knew a friend of mine, his brother ended up dying and left the house to him. And he had to pay those payments off until the life insurance paid out. And life insurance, from what I'm hearing from him, it took a while to get that life insurance payment. So like it's not like immediate. So he had to pay on that house and pay all this other shit. So he was stuck in a tiny apartment, making well over. This guy specifically, he's making well over six figures, and was stuck living in a tiny apartment, driving an average, nothing special, or average car. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just all about the lives. It's just about like your specific situations and what you can do with it. And I'm not trying to say like anybody's better than anybody. What I'm trying to say is just how life plays out, man. And you just gotta roll with it and do the best you can with it. But with that being said, leading up to what I was gonna say originally, like so let's say like if you're a guy who's stuck in like North America, if you're a guy who's stuck in North America, my advice, because I mean, it's just normal. Like you're gonna want to be with a woman. It's just a normal thing. Um, my advice would be first to check what type of friend she's keeping around and what they're doing. Let's say okay, so let's say another situation. Let's say like if you know this girl that you want to talk to, and all her friends can't keep men. None of her friends can keep a man. All her friends are in relationships, you know, 3, 4, 6 months at a time, and they're switching out men every Christmas. And okay, you gonna be that next dude who's gonna get switched out every Christmas. You see what I'm saying? Like because it's just how it's how women are. Like you see, like married women, they hang around other married women. Women in long term relationships, they hang out with other women in long term relationships. Women who can't keep men hang out with other women who can't keep men. You see what I'm saying? It's the constant. It's the constant in their habits. You see, so when you're looking at a woman, pay like this. That's what I'm trying to say from earlier. Pay attention to what her friends are doing. Watch very closely. Okay, if any of them been in a relationship, if any of them see, because and what after you hear this, and if you didn't already know this, and you go out there and you start paying attention to this, you're gonna start seeing it all being true. Like the women who can't keep men hang out with other women who can't keep men. Women and you see women who can't keep men don't hang out with married women. They can't. And the reason why is because see a woman's gonna see that and she's gonna want that. And she's gonna get jealous and mad, and she's gonna try to either sneak and have sex with the husband, or she'll just get so jealous and mad she don't want to ever go around him ever again. They can't see like women cannot like see a man can hang out with another man. Okay, like a man who makes 30,000 a year can legitimately sit at a table and laugh and joke with the guy who makes 15 million a year. We can do that. And women can't do that. They can't be around something that's better than them. Like everything has to be pretty much equal. Because when I was younger, man, this is another side story. I used to like this because I used to be pathetic when I was younger. I'm not even gonna lie. I just woke up from a nap, man. I'm like super thirsty too. 'Cause you know how you wake up and you just be like super thirsty? It just don't never end. It never ends until you like super feel like it's either like super thirsty or you like overfill with water. Type of thing. Like it's never just like a cool fulfillment. Like it's either super thirsty or uncomfortable, bloated, full. But like when I was younger, I I used to talk to like women that I didn't find attractive because I secretly thought to myself, she probably has a hot friend. I used to do that. And a few times, probably a lot of times, but I can only remember a few solid times I used to do that, and never worked out because this is before I applied that logic. Like desirable women hang out with other desirable women. Now, every now and then, you might get like the few anomalies, like say like throughout high school or the earlier years of college. You'll get those few anomalies where they probably worked together and they both had something weird in common, so they became like quick friends. But it very rarely lasts and the reason why it lasts is because when the first time they're gonna take a picture together, one of them is gonna feel bad about it, either from sympathy or feel like they better or worse than the other one. And the second they take a picture together. So I tell you, any young, if you're a young guy or you're an older guy, if you got a Facebook account, I tell you what, go on Facebook and go on any hot girl you know's Facebook and look through all her pictures. And I guarantee you, she's not gonna be up smiling in pictures if she's hot. Like you ain't gonna see Beyonce taking selfies at the restaurant with her and Precious at the table. You're not gonna see that. I'm telling you, you will not find a picture of Beyonce taking a selfie, smiling next standing next to Precious. If you know who Precious is, she's the fat girl from that poor black people movie that was she probably like raped by an older. You just said that feel bad black people ghetto hood movie. Precious, she's this fat black girl, and everybody knows who Beyonce is. So you will never catch Beyonce smiling with her hair done and everything, standing next to Precious, and they both just smile. And you're not gonna see that because women don't do that. Okay, unless it was like some weird event. Like there are anomaly situations. Like they're probably at like an event and they got seated next to each other type of thing because they didn't ask for the seat, stuff like that. But it's just how they are. So go on any, or let's say you go on a, like let's say go on Facebook and go look at like a 6 out of 10's pictures, and I guarantee you all the pictures that she's gonna be with other women in that picture are gonna be women between uh I say roughly fours up to 6.5. All of them. It's just how they are. They can't do like now. Like I said, on the flip side, guys can go. Guys, a good friend of mine at the time was from Germany. This dude, I met him when I first moved to Czech Republic because we taught the same school. Dude was a legit runway model. Like, but the weird part was like he was like a big ass kid. Once you talk to him, he was just nothing more than a big ass kid. But we were cool though. We were real cool. But see, like we can do that. Like, because I'm not a runaway model. I don't think I am, but I don't even put any thought into any of that. Not to like validate it, but I mean I just don't think about it. But that dude, he was like legit, like 6'3", long hair, like legit, run like Calvin Klein type shit. But yeah, man. So yeah, just so the moral story is, you're looking for a relationship. I would say the number one important thing is pay attention to the company she's keeping. Pay attention to that. Pay a lot of attention to that. To the other females that she's keeping around her. Okay, pay a lot of attention to it.